32 years have passed since the Great War. The Shivans vanished half a lifetime ago. And now, we live in the mausoleum of history. We inherit the legacy of ghosts who haunt these ruins. The elders call us the Lost Generation. I remember stories of a glorious civilization, of cities with spires that reached the sun, of a blue planet with vast seas, of people with myths of humanity everlasting, of children who saw in the embers of dying stars the destiny of their race. And they hurled themselves into the void of space with no fear. They say our people have no present, only a past filled with horror. And a future they can only dream of. Now we forge a new alliance to guard the tomb of space and find within its cold expanse the salvation of our race.
And, well, the FreeSpace saga continues with the second installment of FreeSpace. Last time, Earth was separated from its colonies with no way to talk to each other or find each other again because we didn't have anything else resembling faster than light travel. Fuck you, kids. And this is the result 1 generation later when we find out just how utterly fucked those kids are. And yeah, please let me know if any of the music, audio, or sound effects are a little bit louder than normal. I will try to tone them down later down the line, but I make no promises. Or at least, I will if you beg me about it. Right. Joystick's all set up. Got my HUD colors the way I want them for the opening act.
Welcome to Vega, Ensign. I'm Captain Lukakis, Squadron Leader of the 53rd Hammerheads. You've been assigned to our unit. The Hammerheads are a space superiority squadron. We'll be flying the Myrmidon fighter, developed to replace the old GTF Ulysses. The Myrmidon is a Terran Vasudin design and a versatile ship with high marks for speed, maneuverability, armor, and loadout.
Affirmative.
The 53rd Hammerheads were formed during the Great War. At the time, we served on board the GTD Bastion, the finest ship in the history of Terran space travel. You may not know this, but the pilots who destroyed the ST Lucifer in 2335 were based on the Bastion, and some were even Hammerheads. With the 53rd, you're part of a long and proud tradition. When the explosion of the Lucifer collapsed the jump node to the Sol system and severed all contact with Earth, Command transferred the Bastion to the 4th Fleet in Vega. Since then, we've called Vega our home. Now Command has decommissioned the Bastion and reassigned its squadrons to the newer Hecate destroyers. We'll be joining the GTD Aquitaine, flagship of the 3rd Fleet, Capella. The Aquitaine will be here in 36 hours. In the meantime, it would be advisable to review your training. We have all the simulator modules you'll need for the Myrmidon fighter. These modules will give you a refresher course on such basics as your head-up display, throttle controls, and targeting. If you need to review your training, now would be a good time to do so. Because this is your first combat assignment, you'll be authorized to carry the standard armaments: the Subak HL-7, the Tempest Dumbfire, and the Rockeye heat-seeking missile. These weapons are covered in the training modules and in the tech room database. As you gain experience in combat, you will be authorized to use more advanced weaponry. Good luck, pilot, and welcome again to the 53rd.
Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-103C, Class C qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with basic targeting, throttle, and weapon systems. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA combat training program or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training. Welcome to Module TSM-103C, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. The first function you will learn is targeting. Target my fighter. In the lower left-hand corner of your HUD is your target view. The top lines display the targeted ship's name and class. The next line shows the distance to your target and its speed. Note the brackets around my ship indicating I am your current target. As I fly out of view, the off-screen indicator will display. It points in the direction you must turn in order to face your target. The indicator moves as I fly around. It is always pointing at your target. Notice how the triangles separate. The farther apart they are, the farther you'll have to turn to face your target. Finally, note the number by the indicator. This is the distance to your target. The circular gauge near the bottom of your HUD is the radar. Friendly ships are shown in green. Hostile ships appear in red. Ships directly in front of you appear in the radar center. Using your main flight controller, turn your ship toward mine. Stop when my ship is in your center. Good. Now stay in that position. Now turn toward my ship again. Match my speed. Good. Now follow me. Note how your speed automatically changes to match mine. To the left of the reticle is the speed gauge. The capital M next to the current speed indicates that you are matching speed with your target. Now, I want you to accelerate and move to within 125 meters of me. Do not collide with my ship. Good. Now, decelerate to drop 200 meters behind me. Well done. Now, let's practice using the afterburner. Engage your afterburner, pilot. The gauge to the left of your speed gauge displays remaining afterburner power. Note that your engines consume it rapidly. That extra speed is useful for quick, evasive maneuvers and closing large distances. Maintain your maximum top speed. Try it now. Now, bring your fighter to a complete stop. Drone 1 has jumped in. Target it. Good. Now fly within 100 units of it and come to a stop. Be careful not to fly too fast. Well done. Note that it takes some time to come to a complete stop. Now fire your primary weapon at Drone 1. Near the center of your HUD, the hull integrity of your target is displayed. Notice that it has dropped from 100%. This information is also available in the upper right corner of your target view. Now, destroy Drone 1. Good job. Let's see how quickly you can destroy these new drones. Target hostiles and destroy them with your Supac HL-7. The HL-7 is standard issue on all Myrmidon space superiority fighters. Well done. This concludes Module TSM-103C. Most sorties will end with an order to return to base. Do not leave the field of engagement until you have been authorized to do so. Your navigation computer will be programmed with the proper coordinates. All you need to do is engage your subspace drive. Do this now.
Jeez, I lost like 40 seconds of frames.
Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-103C Class C qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. You may now proceed to Training Simulator Module TSM-103B. Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-103B Class B qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with advanced targeting controls, weapon systems, and rearming procedures. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA Combat Training Program or as a review for qualified pilots. Welcome to Module TSM-103B, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. Begin by targeting my fighter. In combat, you will need to acquire your targets quickly. With multiple wings and warships, you will not have time to cycle through all objects in sensor range to find a specific target. Let's take a look at some controls that will help you locate targets more efficiently. 2 drones will be used for the first part of this exercise. You have a targeting control which enables you to acquire the nearest hostile target. Using the control repeatedly will cycle through hostile targets in order of their proximity. Target Drone 1 with your hostile targeting control. Good. Now target Drone 2. Excellent. Now we'll learn another useful targeting control. As a GTVA fighter pilot, you will be called upon to defend larger vessels, from troop transports to destroyer-class warships. For this simulation, let's bring in a Triton-class freighter. Observe that the name and hull integrity of the freighter appears in the box to the right of your reticle. This escort list enables you to monitor its status. You can target ships on your escort list by using the escort targeting control. Target the freight. Well done. On any escort mission, it is important that you stay close to vessels you have been assigned to protect. The escort targeting control makes locating these ships more efficient. Be advised, the escort list will not be limited to ships you have been ordered to protect. Any major target, friendly or hostile, could appear on that list. This will help you monitor the status of ships with tactical or strategic importance. Let's review what we've covered so far. Target Drone 1 with your hostile targeting control. Now, target Drone 2. Now, target the freighter with your escort target. Well done. In Module TSM-103C, you practice firing your HL-7. We'll now take a closer look at your primary and secondary weapons. Your weapons loadout is displayed to the right of your reticle. Primary cannons are listed above your secondary missile banks. Use your primary weapon selector to toggle either one or both. The Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter has 3 missile banks. As a new pilot, you will be authorized to use the Tempest Dumbfire and the Rockeye Heat Seeker. Let's practice firing the Tempest. Use your secondary weapon selector to arm your bank of Tempest missiles. Good. Tempests are dumbfire projectiles. These warheads have no homing system, so they'll fly in the direction in which they are fired. For this reason, they are most effective at close range. Unless your aim is very precise, hitting targets at a distance with a Tempest may be difficult. Now, select Drone 1. Good. Destroy Drone 1 with your Tempest missiles. Close your distance if you need to. Well done. The Tempest may not be as accurate as a heat or aspect-seeking missile, but a Myrmidon can carry up to 320 of these missiles. A volley of Tempests will quickly pulverize an enemy fighter. To maximize their effectiveness, use them in conjunction with your Subak HL-7. While the lasers penetrate the shields of your target, the missiles will impact the enemy's hull. Let's move on to the Rockeye Heat Seeker. Arm the Rockeye with your secondary weapon selector. Well done. Now, target. When you fire the Rockeye, the missile's tracking system will lock onto the heat signature of your target. Be aware the homing radius of the Rockeye is limited, and your target must be near the center of your HUD. Destroy Drone 2 using your Rockeye missiles. Nice shooting, pilot. Compared to the Tempest, the Rockeye is more accurate and has a greater effective range. However, the Myrmidon can carry no more than 20 Rockeyes. You can also toggle double fire mode to launch twice the ordnance. You will inflict more. We will now send in more drones so you can practice firing missiles. Be sure to toggle between banks so you can get a feel for both the Tempest and the Rockeye. When you run low on missiles, you need to rearm your fighter. To do this, you must call in a support ship. First, press the communications key to bring up your messaging window. In order for the support ship to dock, you must bring your fighter to a complete stop. The support ship will then automatically dock with you. In the lower portion of your HUD, an indicator displays the support ship's ETA. The support ship's primary purpose is twofold. First, it will reload your secondary weapons and countermeasures. Second, the support ship is capable of making minor repairs to your ship. It can fully repair any damaged or destroyed subsystem. However, the support ship cannot repair your hull.
Rearming complete, sir. You're good to go.
A support ship can only load as many weapons as it has on board. It may not be enough to completely rearm your fighter. We covered a lot in this module. If you need to review this material, replay the simulation. Otherwise, you are qualified to proceed to TSM-103A. Engage your subspace drive. Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-103B Class B qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. You may now proceed to Training Simulator Module TSM-103A. Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-103A, Class A qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with dogfighting techniques. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA Combat Training Program or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training.
Welcome to Module TSM-103A, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. This simulation will cover dogfighting techniques. You will be required to use many of the skills you learned in the preceding modules, such as targeting, matching speed, and primary and secondary weapons control. Begin by You'll notice as I move, a circular indicator moves in front of my ship. That is the lead indicator. It shows you where you need to fire your primary weapon to hit your target. Now, target the drone. You can use your basic targeting control. The target box in the lower left-hand corner of the HUD displays the distance to and hull integrity of your target. Your target's hull strength is also shown in the lower part of your reticle. As I shoot the drone, watch its hull integrity drop slowly. A good dogfighting tactic is matching speeds. Good. Your throttle can be set to automatically match the speed of your target, even as your targets change. Use your auto matching control to toggle this feature on or off. Good. You should be on the move at all times during a dogfight. Now, destroy the drone. Don't forget, you also have missiles. 2 new unarmed drones have arrived. Destroy both of them. Remember to match their speed. An easy way to target new hostile. Good job. This drone is armed. It will start firing upon you in 10 seconds. Destroy it. Now comes the fun part. 5 pairs of armed drones will jump in. Destroy as many as you can. Great job, pilot. You have successfully qualified on the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. Engage your subspace drive.
Congratulations, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-103A, Class A qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter.
This is Admiral Petrarch, commanding officer of the GTD Aquitaine. For those squadrons joining us here in Vega, welcome aboard. With a complement of 150 combat spacecraft, the Aquitaine serves as flagship of the GTVA 3rd Fleet based in the Capella system. You join an elite crew of 10,000, the finest officers and enlisted personnel serving the Alliance today. After 18 months of fighting, Admiral Bosch's Neo-Terran front has become the most significant threat to regional security since the Great War ended 32 years ago. The NTF demands the independence of their systems and the revocation of the Beta Aquila Convention, or BATAC. The BATAC Treaty centralized power of the GTVA as the supreme authority in Terran Vasudan space. Integral to NTF ideology is Bosch's vision of Neo-Terra. A utopian society where the lost grandeur of Earth will be restored. Bosch and his followers oppose any alliance with the Vasudans as a threat to the future of the human race. The rebels are entrenched in Polaris, Regulus, and Sirius. But before we hit these strongholds, we must secure Epsilon Pegasi, Alpha Centauri, and Deneb. These contested systems are now the focal point of Allied operations. Allied Command has ordered the Aquitaine into the Deneb system. There, we will reinforce the 13 Vasudan battle group, led by the GVD Samtic. Both the NTF and the GTVA have sustained heavy casualties in the battle for Deneb. In the past 72 hours, we have lost the GVC Andromeda, the GTC Trafalgar, and over 15 fighter wings. Command anticipates the arrival of the Aquitaine and the Samtic will shift the battle for Deneb in our favor and force the NTF to withdraw to Sirius.
Robert Loggia is our commanding officer. Alright. So let's figure out what General Gray's been up to after this whole time.
This is Captain Lukakis, Squadron Leader of the 53rd Hammerheads. At 0320 hours, the Aquitaine entered the Deneb system. Admiral Petrarch launched fighter and bomber wings as part of an all-out attack against NTF positions throughout the system. He has kept the Hammerheads on standby until now. A situation is developing near the inhabited planet of Cygnus Prime. We have over 100,000 Vasudan refugees fleeing their colonies in transports. Allied ships are rescuing the Vasudans as quickly as possible, though the logistics of this operation leave many refugees still vulnerable to rebel attack. At 0545, we received a distress signal from a refugee convoy 900 clicks, or kilometers, from the outer orbit of Cygnus Prime. The Vasudans responded with a wing of Serapis fighters, designated Epsilon, which have just called in for reinforcements. Alpha Wing, you're going in. Because these transports do not have jump drives, you must protect the convoy until a recovery ship arrives. With all warships engaged and other convoys in dire need of protection, we do not know when a craft will become available. Command will keep you updated and send in reinforcements as needed.
Alright. Standard Zazers. Pack of rockets, and a bunch of heat seekers. Alright, let's do this.
Alpha 2 here. I have a visual on the convoy, 1,500 meters dead ahead. The escort wing is down 2 fighters. Iota Transports, this is Alpha Wing of the 53rd Hammerheads, GTD Aquitaine. We have orders to protect your convoy. What's your status? Over.
Alpha Wing, we have lost 3 transports to the rebel attack. The surviving vessels have sustained moderate damage. We anticipate the rebels will return in greater force.
Hang in there, Iota. Command will send a recovery craft as soon as possible. All right, Alpha, let's get to work. We must defend these transports until a recovery ship arrives. Sensors picking up incoming hostiles. A wing of Herc's closing in.
Alpha 1 and 2 intercept those fighters. We will defend transports.
Objective neutralized. Bandits incoming!
Any more surprises? Yes.
Bandits incoming! Missile banks depleted. Calling in support.
Now.
We have transmitted your coordinates to the GVD Samtic. The vessel should be exiting subspace momentarily.
Command, this is the GVD Samtic. We have arrived at the designated coordinates.
The NTCV Belisarius, a Deimos-class corvette, has run our blockade of the Sirius jump node. We are now tracking the vessel through subspace. We have vectored its course to your immediate vicinity.
Acknowledged, Command. We will intercept the target.
Incoming jump signature. It's the Belisarius.
Gunnery control, power up photon beam cannons. Commence plasma core insertion.
All units stand clear of the Samtic and Belisarius.
Belisarius, this is the GVD Samtic. You are ordered to power down and surrender.
Negative, Vasudin. The NTF is the only legitimate authority in this system.
Surrender or be destroyed, Belisarius. This is your final warning.
Your posturing insults us both, Vasudin. I will not give up my ship.
As you wish. Gunnery control, open fire.
Belisarius objective has been neutralized.
Now deploying wings Zeta and Theta. You are relieved of your escort, Alpha Wing.
Mission accomplished, Alpha. Return to base. Well done, pilots.
Iota, you are cleared for docking.
Roger that, Samtic. Moving into position now.
Good work, pilot. You held off the rebel attack and saved both Vasudin transports from destruction. Your squad mates and I all agree you'll make a fine addition to the 53rd Hammerheads. Command reports that 75% of the refugees have been recovered with few casualties. The remaining 25% are under Allied protection and will be rescued shortly. We've also won major victories against the NTF. The NTD Jacobus and the NTC Hengst have been destroyed, and our blockades of the Alpha Centauri and Sirius jump nodes has isolated the rebel fleet. Furthermore, 600,000 ground troops will soon land on the surface of Cygnus Prime in our effort to retake the planet. Prepare for your next mission, pilot. The battle for Deneb is not over yet.
One down, a few more to go.
Command has ordered the 53rd Hammerheads to secure an NTF depot in the Deneb asteroid belt. 6 sentry guns are positioned around the depot, and rebel freighters are now moving the cargo out of the area. The NTF has gone through a lot of trouble to hide these materials. Alpha 1, your mission is to seek and destroy all targets of opportunity, including freighters, cargo, and sentry guns. Beta Wing will scan the cargo. Recon sighted a wing of Lokis guarding the depot, so prioritize these bandits. Do not underestimate the importance of this mission, pilot. A depot raid won't win you any medals, but it can be just as vital as taking down a cruiser or corvette. We must sever rebel supply lines if we want to achieve a decisive victory.
Okay, Alpha Wing, let's take out the fighters and freighters. Beta will scan the cargo. Watch those sentry guns. Beta Wing, target cargo units and close in to scan. Optimal distance is 150 meters. Alpha 1 and Alpha 3, you target the fighters. Stay focused on those Lokis.
Objective neutralized.
Command, we've got a problem here. We can't scan the cargo.
Run a diagnostic, Beta. Are your sensors malfunctioning?
Negative. There's some kind of shielding on these units. Our sensors can't penetrate.
Acknowledged, Beta. Abort the scan and engage the enemy.
What about a recovery out?
Negative, Beta. Command will not risk recovery in that asteroid belt.
Heads up, enemy wing closing in. We're facing multiple bandits here. That cargo must be vital. Heads up, enemy wing closing in.
And what the hell did you crash in front of?
We have secured the depot, Command. All bandits have been neutralized. Alpha and Beta, destroy the cargo units.
Hold on, Alpha. Long-range sensors are picking up another hostile target 3 kilometers from your position.
I'm reading nothing here, Command.
We're detecting a faint EM signature from one of the asteroids. Transmitting coordinates now.
I'm still not getting a clear reading. There's too much interference.
There should be a flashing red blip on the radar screen of your HUD. Maneuver your fighter until this blip is centered in the radar. This will point you in the right direction.
It's a large asteroid, Command, with some kind of structure built into the surface.
Let's take a closer look. Proceed with caution, pilots.
Oh, that glowing asteroid that came up in the middle of nowhere? Alright. And in case you're wondering, yeah, my joystick's rudder is kind of loose and screwy, so... At some point I might just have to pull out throttle Squadron and use the rudder on that. Just maybe move the throttle over here.
Command, the target has turrets and a fighter bay. It must be a rebel installation.
We're scrambling bomber wings now. Destroy that base, pilots.
I need to rearm.
Delta Wing, now on station, awaiting orders.
Command, I'm picking up incoming hostiles.
Engage and destroy those fighters. We need to clear a path for Delta Wing.
This is Admiral Bosch of the Neo-Terran Front. Allied fighters, break off your attack.
Command, the rebel leader is on that base.
Disregard that transmission, Alpha. Admiral Bosch is in the Polaris system. This must be a decoy.
That's a confirmed kill.
You destroy this installation, you sign the death warrant of our race. I demand unfettered access to the Sirius jump node.
There will be no negotiations, Bosch.
Listen to me. If my safety is guaranteed, I'll withdraw my forces from Deneb.
Pilots, destroy that installation. You have your orders.
Heads up, enemy wing closing in. Is breaking apart, Command.
That's not an installation. Disable the engines of that warship. Do not let them escape.
All hostile fighters have been neutralized, Command. There's no time, Command. The vessel is powering up in subspace drive.
Bosch and his warship have jumped. This mission is over, Alpha. Return to base.
Command has issued no official explanation for Admiral Bosch's presence in the Deneb system. The hidden base and the shielded cargo units only compound the mystery of the Admiral's agenda. Under the circumstances, there was nothing you could have done to stop the escape of Bosch's command frigate, designated the NTF Iceni. Intelligence has also learned the Neo-Terran Front is working on a secret project known only as ETAC, possibly a weapon of mass destruction. By destroying all cargo units in the depot, we disrupted Bosch's research. Intelligence has tracked Admiral Bosch's command frigate, the NTF Iceni, through subspace. We have vectored its course to the Sirius jump node. The 53rd is being scrambled to seek and destroy the Iceni before it escapes Deneb. We have pre-assigned your loadout, and your fighters are now standing by. Report to the flight deck pronto.
Engage full burners and intercept the ICD. They are 2 kilometers from the Sirius jump node.
Command, we're 5 clicks from that Corvette. Those coordinates you gave us were bogus. We don't stand a chance of catching that ship.
You have your orders, pilot.
Command, where's the blockade? Why isn't the Alliance guarding this node?
Our line of defense has been reprioritized for engagements elsewhere in the system.
I regret your efforts to intercept us have failed, pilots. Would be well advised to question the wisdom of your leaders. Helm, engage subspace drive. The Iceni has jumped. I repeat, the Iceni has jumped.
Acknowledged, pilot.
Request a status brief, Command. What the hell is going on here?
You're out of line, pilot.
Out of line? I don't think so. We're risking our lives out here. We deserve a straight answer.
You can discuss this at your debriefing. We now have reports that rebel vessels are heading for the jump node. Stand by for mission update. Command out. Engage full burners and intercept the ICD. They are 2 kilometers from the Sirius jump node.
Command, we're 5 clicks from that Corvette. Those coordinates you gave us were bogus. We don't stand a chance of catching that ship.
You have your orders, pilot.
Command, where's the blockade? Why isn't the Alliance guarding this node?
Our line of defense has been reprioritized for engagements elsewhere in the system.
I regret your efforts to intercept us have failed, pilots. Would be well advised to question the wisdom of your leaders. Helm, engage subspace drive. The Iceni has jumped. I repeat, the Iceni has jumped.
Acknowledged, pilot.
Request a status brief, Command. What the hell is going on here?
You're out of line, pilot.
Out of line? I don't think so. We're risking our lives out here. We deserve a straight answer.
You can discuss this at your debriefing. We now have reports that rebel vessels are heading for the jump node. Stand by for mission update. Command out.
Damn it! Command let Bosch escape!
What are you talking about?
They pulled the blockade. They gave us the wrong coordinates. There's no other explanation.
Why? Why would they let him go?
You tell me, pilot. I'm informed on a need-to-know basis.
Stand down. We're on your side here.
Why did we attack the Iceni? Why did we destroy that cargo? I can live with being a pawn if the game makes sense.
Inbound freighters with Loki escort. These targets escape the asteroid depot. Destroy those ships before they reach the node.
Beta Wing here. Target acquired and closing in. Behind you, pilot!
There's one freighter left. Let's finish the job.
No. Base FS2.
Bandit down! Behind you, pilot!
ATF cruisers have jumped in. The NTC Glorious and the NTC Impervious. They are heading for the node. Eliminate the fighter escort pilots. We'll deploy the Samtic to handle the cruisers. Those cruisers have anti-fighter beams with an effective range of 1,500 meters. Lure the escort away from the cruisers before you engage. Samtic is now on station.
I've got him in my sight.
Admiral Bosch's command frigate reached the Sirius jump node. I have received no explanation either on or off the record for what happened out there. I assume we'll be informed on a need-to-know basis. Good job neutralizing those fighters and freighters. You've served the 53rd Hammerheads well. Your performance in this last mission proves you have what it takes to be an ace pilot. I've recommended your transfer to the 107th Ravens. They lost many good officers in Deneb, and they could use someone with your talents. They're a top-notch unit. I know you'll make us proud. Good luck with your new assignment, pilot. Command has ordered the Aquitaine to return to the Capella system. Admiral Petrarch will address the crew at 0630.
Yeah, in this game, you're not part of a consistent squadron. You're basically punted as a hot potato on the Aquitaine as needed.
Welcome to the 107th Ravens, pilot. I'm Lieutenant Samza, squadron leader. As you know, the Aquitaine is now en route to the Gamma Draconis system. The details of the situation there have been classified at the highest level, so I'm as much in the dark as you are. The Admiral will brief the crew when we reach 3rd Fleet Headquarters in Capella. The 107th is a heavy assault squadron, so our fighter of choice is the Hercules Mark II.
Implementing advances in fusion drive technology, the Mark II improves the assault fighter's speed and maneuverability without sacrificing loadout. The Herc has only 2 missile banks, but its ordnance capacity is greater than the Myrmidons. The original Herc won the Great War, so we're proud to carry on the tradition. I recommend that you review the Herc 2 training modules before the Aquitaine arrives in Capella. These modules review advanced tactics, such as countermeasures and energy management. The Herc 2 is slower than the Myrmidon you've been flying with the 53rd, so learn how to evade missiles and equalize shields. These skills will help you push your fighter to the limits. Master them, and the life you save may be your own. According to your file, you are now authorized to use the GTW-5A Prometheus R, the GTM-19 Harpoon, and the GTM-4 Hornet missile. The Prometheus R is a retrofit of a cannon developed during the Great War. After the Alliance lost contact with Earth, we lacked materials required for mass production, so engineers developed this retrofit version. The Prometheus packs a bigger wallop than the Subak HL-7, but it will drain your power reserves with extended use. The Harpoon and the Hornet are both aspect-seeking missiles. While the Harpoon fires individual warheads, the Hornet launches a swarm of 4 projectiles, 8 if you're in double-fire mode. The training modules cover the proper technique for firing aspect-seeking missiles, so be sure to review that section carefully. That's all for now, pilot. The Aquitaine will arrive in Capella in 4 hours.
Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-107M, Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with communication systems, countermeasures, and aspect-seeking missiles. Welcome to Module TSM-107M, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. Let's begin with messaging. For Class A qualification, you learned how to call in a support ship to rearm and repair subsystems. Now, we'll show you how to give orders to pilots under your command. Our target for this simulation will be an Argo-class transport. Target the transport. Use your... Good. Now you'll call in your reinforcements. Press the communications key to bring up the messaging window. Select Well done. Confirm that you still have the transport targeted. Now have Epsilon Wing destroy the transport. Press the communications key to bring up your messaging box again. Select 2 to transmit your orders to a specific wing. Well done, pilot. Let's try this again. Now, press the 1 key and order Epsilon Wing to destroy Transport 2. Do you remember your previous instruction? If not,
yes, sir.
consult the directives list.
The Herc 2 is a great fighter, but it just sucks in the campaign.
Good work. Be aware that fighter wings are less effective against larger targets. Bombers or vessels with beam turrets are usually required to destroy warships larger than cruiser class. Also note that reinforcements are not always available, and you will have authorization to issue orders only to specific wings and ships. Now, let's order Epsilon Wing to depart. Press the communications key to bring up the messaging window. Select 2 for Wing and 1 for Epsilon. Finally, press 0 for depart. Excellent work. As you gain experience in combat, using the communications interface will become second nature. All right, pilot, now it's time to learn about countermeasures. When you launch a countermeasure, you present a new target for pursuing missiles. In theory, the missile should hit the countermeasure instead of ripping a hole through your hull. You need to use countermeasures to survive in battle, but you'll soon learn this tactic does not always work. For this exercise, we'll bring in a Leviathan-class cruiser. The cruiser will now launch missiles at you. Press the countermeasures key to evade the missile. Immediately increase your forward velocity to maximum and move away from the pursuing missiles. Punch your afterburners to gain that extra burst of speed. A yellow triangle will appear on your HUD, indicating the vector of the missile's approach. Try to keep this indicator in the 3 or 9 o'clock position. When the missile is nearly upon you, launch the countermeasure. Listen to the beeping sound of the missile lock to gauge the distance of the missile. The quicker the beeps, the closer the missile. While launching countermeasures, turn your fighter hard in sharp movements. This will also help throw the missile off your trail. If you evade the missile, an indicator will display in the upper portion of your targeting reticle. This will alert you to the fact that you successfully avoided the projectile. The number of countermeasures remaining is indicated on your HUD below the weapons display. If you run out of countermeasures, call in the support ship to reload. That's enough for evading missiles. Now, let's practice firing them. Your Hercules Mark II heavy assault fighter is armed with 2 banks of harpoons. Unlike heat seekers like the Rockeye, you must acquire a lock on your target in order for an aspect seeker to home. However, the aspect seeker is well worth the effort because its homing ability is much stronger. If a heat seeker loses track of its target, chances are it will not reacquire lock. Aspect seekers, on the other hand, will track their targets until they detonate. Transport 3 is now entering. Let's take this opportunity to learn another targeting control. You have a reticle targeting control that will acquire the nearest object inside your reticle. Maneuver your fighter so that my ship is centered on your HUD. Good. Now, well done. Now, target Transport 3 using the reticle targeting control. Make sure the excellent. Now, let's see how you do with those harpoons. Notice the red indicator moving towards your target. That's the aspect triangle. Once it is moved onto your target, you'll see the lock indicator. This means your harpoons are locked and ready to fire. Now, fire 1 harpoon at the freighter. Note how fast the harpoon moves. This warhead delivers quite a punch. A round of harpoons can be fired every 3 seconds. Fire another round and note the countdown timer in your weapons gauge. The harpoon is almost useless if fired before lock has been acquired. That's a major distinction between the harpoon and the Rockeye. Now, unload your harpoons until you've destroyed Transport 3. Excellent job. Let's see how you do against moving targets. In order to gain aspect lock on a moving target, you must keep the target's lockbox in a fixed position inside your HUD reticle. We'll now bring in the fighter drones. When the first drone enters, target it and acquire lock. Try to keep the target indicator in the center of your HUD reticle. Once you have well done, all aspect seekers function this way, from the Hornet missile to the Helios torpedo. In general, the larger and more powerful the warhead, the longer it will take to acquire lock and countdown between volleys. Now, let's have you face a real challenge. Multiple wings will appear simultaneously. Destroy them all. You must be in range of your target before you can gain aspect lock. Hit your burners to intercept the drones.
The harpoon is such a good missile.
Well done. This concludes Module TSM-107M. Engage your subspace drive to end this simulation. Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-107M Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter. You are advised to proceed to Training Simulator Module TSM-107SE, covering shield management and the energy transfer system. Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-107SE, Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with shield management and the energy transfer system.
Welcome to Module TSM-107 SE, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. First, let's take a look at the gauges and controls for your shield system. The Alliance acquired shielding technology from the Shivans during the Great War. Shield systems have been standard on Terran Vasudan fighters and bombers for over 30 years. Your shield system generates an energy shell that protects the hull of your ship from primary fire and missile blasts. As they absorb damage, your shields will weaken. However, your fighter will automatically regenerate its shields over time. Your shield integrity gauge is located in the lower right of your HUD. This gauge is now flashing. Your shield is divided into 4 quadrants. Each quadrant can withstand limited damage. When a shield quadrant sustains damage, the corresponding section of your shield integrity gauge will flash. Observe. Note the front of your shield is flashing as if you've taken a hit. Observe how the gauge changes as your shield sustains more damage. When a shield quadrant has been destroyed, all damage on that quadrant will impact the hull of your fighter. Your shields will regenerate themselves automatically. Let's accelerate this process to save time. Now observe as the front quadrant of your shield repairs itself to full strength.
Anytime now. Damn, I'm out of water on this bottle.
Your shield is now fully recharged. Effective shield management can mean the difference between life and death. The simplest way to manage your shield is the Equalize Quadrants function. I have damaged your front quadrant again. Use your Equalize Quadrants function to repair your shields. Well done. Your front section has been partially recharged. This shield energy came from your other 3 quadrants. Practice this function often. I'm now going to reduce most of your shield strength. Note that 3 of your 4 quadrants are now near 0 power. With your shield management controls, you can maximize shield strength in a specific quadrant. First, maximize the strength in your front quadrant. Well done. Note that your front quadrant is at full strength, while the other quadrants have been drained. Maximizing your front shield quadrant is especially useful when you're attacking the turret of a large ship. Now I want you to maximize your rear shield quadrant. If you're pursuing an important objective and are being attacked from the rear, maximizing your rear shield quadrant can deflect the gunfire of your pursuer.
And this is a 4 quadrant shield.
Equalize quadrants again to distribute shield energy evenly around your ship. We will conclude this module with an overview of your energy transfer system, or ETS. In the lower right of your HUD are 3 bar gauges labeled G for guns, S for shields, and E for engines. You can use your ETS controls to augment or diminish the energy allocated to each of these 3 systems. First, let's increase your weapon's energy allocation. Observe that as you divert power to weapons, the energy levels for shields and engines drop. The more energy diverted to weapons, the faster your primaries will recharge. Your weapons will not inflict greater damage at higher ETS levels. High-energy cannons, such as the Prometheus, can quickly deplete your weapon reserves. If you require a sustained barrage of gunfire, diverting energy to primaries may be necessary. Now, let's increase your shield allocation. The higher your ETS setting for shields, the faster they'll recharge. Increasing your shield allocation may be critical in combat situations, such as stopping to rearm your fighter or flying through heavy flak. Now, divert more power to your engines.
Increasing power to engines will improve your maximum speed by up to 30%, depending on the fighter's reactor capacity. Your afterburners will also recharge faster, enabling more frequent bursts of speed. For a slower fighter like the Hercules Mark II, increasing engine power may be necessary to chase down more maneuverable targets or cover large distances quickly. Well done. This concludes Module TSM-107-SE. Engage your subspace drive to end this simulation.
Yeah, the higher charge line, I believe, is for those who have played X-Wing or TIE Fighter before this. Whereas, if your energy gauge for your guns was above a certain threshold, or at least the lights on your display were glowing, then your guns would be a lot thicker. Or at least you'd have thicker blasters. That's not a thing here.
Congratulations! You have successfully completed TSM-107-SE Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter.
Of course, I never played X-Wing or TIE Fighter before I played FreeSpace, so... yeah, my only space simulator before this was tacky on the fringe.
To the officers and crew of the GTD Aquitaine, this is Admiral Petrov. At 0115 hours, we received a transmission from 3rd Fleet Headquarters. A Shivan cruiser, the 3 fighter wings ambushed and destroyed the GTC Vigilant as it patrolled the Gamma Draconis jump node in the Capella system. Command deployed the GTD Carthage and GDC Dashor. Though these vessels neutralized the immediate threat, all Allied units now in a state of enhanced vigilance. Command has ordered the Aquitaine to spearhead the operation in Gamma Draconis as we investigate the origin and extent of this incursion. Gamma Draconis is a remote, uninhabited system discovered shortly before the outbreak of the Great War. The system has no planets, no viable resources. GTSC Erickson visited the system 15 years ago and reported nothing out of the ordinary. Recon flights in Gamma Draconis detected activity near an uncharted jump node. Closer examination has revealed this node is not a natural phenomenon, but a massive subspace portal of unknown origin. We do not know why the Erickson failed to detect the portal when it last visited the system. This device may have been inactive and therefore invisible to long-range sensors, or it may be of recent construction. The Shivan vessels that destroyed the Vigilant were not of any class encountered in the Great War. The light cruiser, designated Rakshasa, and the fighters designated Mara have been added to your onboard database. This is our first contact with this species in over 3 decades. Our objectives are clear. We must secure Gamma Draconis or face annihilation a second time.
This is Lieutenant Samsa, Squadron Leader of the 107th Ravens. Here's the situation. The GTD Aquitaine entered Gamma Draconis at 1640. The flagship will defend the Capella node as we advance to secure the system. Recon discovered a Shivan supply depot near the subspace portal, and this will be our target. Command believes the Shivans are preparing for a more aggressive attack on Capella. The SC Behemoth, a Rakshasa-class cruiser, guards the depot with a wing of Mara fighters. Enemy freighters are entering the system, dropping their cargo and departing through the portal. Your mission, pilot, is to execute a clean sweep of the area. Your primary target will be the Mara fighters. Once the escorts are down, destroy the Behemoth and any freighters in the vicinity. You'll need to hold down the fort until we deploy the Carthage and Dashor. After you secure the area, we'll send Wings Delta and Epsilon to relieve you.
Command, this is Alpha 2. We're in. I've got a visual on the subspace portal.
How many hostiles in sensor range?
One wing of Maras closing in fast. The behemoth is 2.5 clicks out. 2 freighters and a half a dozen cargo units are in the depot area.
Destroy those fighters. The Shivans will send reinforcements, so let's secure this area as quickly as possible. Pilots, we are now deploying the Carthage and the Dashur.
Command, we've got 4 or 5 hostile wings coming through the portal. We've got a new fighter class here, designation Astaroth. Where's the Carthage? We need reinforcements ASAP, Command!
Take evasive action, pilots. Help is on the way.
There's too many of them! Send in the Carthage or get us out of here!
The Carthage and Dashur will emerge from subspace momentarily. Stand by.
This is the GTD Carthage. What's your status, pilot? A King-class warship has entered the system. SD Goliath.
Shivans has broken off their attack. They're heading for the Carthage.
I can't hold them off much longer.
Wow, really?
Delta Wing, now in position.
Epsilon Wing standing by. Transmit orders.
You survived your first sortie against the Shivans. Though we had only a small opposing force to contend with, survival is half the battle. The COs of both the Carthage and Dashore commend our squadron for the outstanding cover we provided. The Shivan Kane cruiser and its complement of fighters might have destroyed these vessels had we not intervened. Well done, pilot. A joint Terran-Vasudan task force under the direction of Dr. Mina Hargrove is now studying the subspace portal. We expect a preliminary report in a few hours. For preserving the systems of the Galactic Terran-Vasudan Alliance from Shivan invasion, you are hereby awarded the Allied Defense Citation.
With the Gamma Draconis system secure, a task force of Terran and Vasudan scientists is now examining the subspace portal. At this point, the scientists have ruled out the possibility the device is of Shivan origin. Dr. Mina Hargrove, leader of the research team, has issued a report of his preliminary findings. An excerpt of this report follows.
The subspace portal is unlike any Shivan construction we have yet encountered. Though Shivans demonstrate considerable diversity as a species, all Shivan technology possesses certain distinctive properties. None is present in the subspace device, which means we must look elsewhere for the portal's origin. We do know that the device is very, very old, on the order of several thousand years.
The field generated by the interlocking movement of the portal's components creates a subspace vortex, connecting one part of the universe to another. Dr. Hargrove theorizes that whoever built this device may have used it to stabilize a jump node on the verge of collapse. Dr. Hargrove is correct. His technology is a tremendous discovery. By constructing our own portal, we might be able to reopen the Sol jump node in Delta Serpentis. Since the destruction of the Lucifer caused the node to collapse 32 years ago, Earth has remained isolated from the GTVA. We might also be able to stabilize subspace nodes that are currently too volatile for travel, thus creating routes to systems previously unexplored. Our military operation will focus on what lies on the other side of the subspace portal. Let's determine where the node leads, the extent of the Shivan presence there. Above all, we must prevent the Shivans from returning to Gamma Draconis. Because the portal will remain active while the research team studies the technology, our systems are vulnerable to attack. Allied Command has deemed this an acceptable risk given the potential benefits.
At 1540 hours, the GTD Aquitaine entered the subspace portal in Gamma Draconis and jumped to our current position. We have entered a nebula, a vast and dense ionized field, and possibly the remnant of a supernova. We have traveled farther than any Terrans in the history of subspace travel. The nebula has severely limited the Aquitaine's long-range sensors. We are deploying our fighter wings to explore the immediate vicinity and determine the extent of the enemy presence. Each fighter squadron will deploy a flight of 4 wings. Alpha, Zeta, Iota, and Kappa will patrol a series of 4 waypoints. Zeta Wing will lead this sortie, so follow Zeta 1 and do not stray. Be advised the nebula could interfere with your onboard systems. The ionized field will compromise your sensors, even within combat range.
We don't even get our own waypoint pad to visit. So, yeah, there's no dummy nav beacons for us to follow. I'm like, ah.
Iota Wing, you are cleared to take off. Kappa Wing, you have clearance. Zeta Wing, go. Alpha Wing, go.
Alpha, form up on Zeta. Follow Zeta 1's lead to the waypoints.
Okay, Alpha, target my fighter and try to keep up. Boost your engine power and be ready to hit your burners because we're gonna get through this one fast and clean.
Good luck, pilots. Keep a tight formation and look out for each other. Let's all get home alive.
How are we supposed to get a visual confirmation? I can't see a thing in this mess.
Rather be fighting the NTF if you ask me. I never signed on for hunting Shivans. Don't kid yourself. We're the ones being hunted, pilot.
Command should shut down that portal and send the Aquitaine back to Deneb. We've got no business being out here.
If Command needs your opinion, they'll promote you to Admiral. Now shut up and focus.
All flights report in.
This is Iota 1. Sensors are picking up zilch, Command. We're flying blind out here.
Alpha 2 here. Nothing to report.
This is Zeta 1, all clear.
Kappa Wing, what's your status? Over? Kappa Wing, this is Allied Command. Please respond. Iota Wing, investigate Kappa's last waypoint. The ionized field is interfering with our transmission.
I'm picking up something on sensors. I can't get a lock. Hostile targets confirmed. A wing of Manticores closing fast.
Pilots, destroy those fighters and stay alert. Watch for a flanking maneuver.
No problem, Command. We'll take them down. All bandits are down, Command. Area secure.
Resume your patrol, pilots.
There's gotta be a base or destroyer in this nebula somewhere. Those fighters couldn't survive out here on their own.
This nebula could be 10 or 20 light years in diameter. Finding a single ship would be impossible.
Unless the Shivans find us first.
Do we have a status update on Kappa Wing?
Negative. No word from Kappa yet. We'll find out in debriefing.
Yeah, we just lost contact with them about a minute ago, and we're going, oops. Maybe 2 or 3. I can't count.
Hostile indicators on radar. Objective neutralized.
Bandit on your tail.
Okay, let's get back on patrol. Alpha, follow my lead. Hold on. I got a visual on something big. A cruiser or corvette.
Do you recognize the configuration? Is it a Rakshasa or a Kane?
Negative, Command. It's a Terran cruiser. Fenris class.
There's no Allied ship authorized in your vicinity. Hail them, pilot.
This is Zeta Wing of the 107th Ravens, GTD Aquitaine. Please identify yourself.
This is Captain Arthur Romig of the GTC Trinity. We have sustained heavy damage, and our jump drive is inoperative. We need immediate assistance.
Your designation is incorrect, Romig. Your ship defected to the NTF 10 days ago. You have been stripped of your rank and citizenship in the GTVA. Surrender the Trinity, or be destroyed.
As captain of the NTC Trinity, I surrender on the condition you get us the hell out of here.
What's your status?
We repelled the Shivan attack, but engines sustained critical damage. I powered down non-essential systems so the Shivans wouldn't detect us. We've been drifting ever since.
What's your assessment of the damage?
Some components were destroyed in the attack, but my chief engineer thinks a field repair is possible.
We will send a damage control team with the necessary components. Transmit your diagnostics.
Transmitting now.
What were you doing out here, Romig?
As a prisoner of war, my rights are protected under the Beta Aquila Convention. I will answer no questions, Command.
I thought rebels didn't recognize BATAC.
No, but we do, pilot. Damage control has been deployed. They should be arriving momentarily.
Discovery here, initiating docking procedure. Watch our backs, little friends.
Roger that.
Affirmative.
Incoming jump signature. Hostile configuration.
Prepare to be boarded, Trinity.
Trinity standing by.
Docking point secure. Okay, Romig, we're taking you and your crew into custody. Follow the drill and no one gets hurt.
More hostiles incoming.
Keep the Shivans away from the Trinity pilots. That ship won't survive another attack. Give us a time estimate, Discovery.
We can jury rig a solution in 15 minutes, Command.
Can you bring the anti-fighter turrets online?
Bandit on your tail.
Negative. We need all power on engines. You need to buy us more time, pilots.
I don't think we can buy you 15 minutes. shenanigans.
Heads up, enemy wing closing in. That's a confirmed kill.
We've lost the Trinity. All wings return to base. We're aborting this mission.
Data wing here! We're bugging out!
You confronted an overwhelming Shivan force in a hostile environment. Under these circumstances, there was nothing you or anyone else could have done to save the Trinity and our boarding party. You were lucky to survive this sortie, pilot. We have heard nothing from Kappa wings since they vanished from our sensors. Unfortunately, we must presume the worst. They will be listed MIA unless we find evidence to the contrary. Our search parties have found no trace of these fighters. The presence of the Trinity deepens the enigma of the NTF's secret agenda. What was the Trinity doing out here? And what does Bosch know about the subspace portal? All patrols have uncovered an extensive Shivan force in the nebula. Command will deploy more warships through the subspace portal to assist with our mission of exploration and containment. Iota and Epsilon wings encountered 2 Shivan cruisers near our current location. When our reinforcements arrive, we will move against them.
"32 years ago on the Altair system, Visudan scientists discovered the remnants of an extinct civilization we now call the Ancients. In here we found the secret to defeating the Shivans. How close did we come to being a footnote in the history of a future species that would happen upon our ruins 10,000 years from now? Would they indulge in the fiction of their own immortality until the Shivans came for them? And how long had this gone on? Did the Ancients stumble upon the monoliths and the tombs of their predecessors in this distant corner of space, dismissing the warnings carved in the walls of the sepulchre? And when the destroyers came at last, what did the Ancients think as they sifted the cremation of dust and bones, staring into the mute remains for a key? Some solution to their plight. What if there had been countless races, stretching back into infinity, and like the 9 cities of Troy, each civilization had been built on the rubble of one that came before, each annihilated by the Shivans. The Ancients died 8,000 years ago. As humanity emerged from its Neolithic infancy, they believed their voyage across the sea of stars woke the dragon that slept beneath the waves, that the Shivans were birthed from the flux of subspace, and their destruction was the revenge of an angry cosmos.
With recent victories on the Civil War front, the GTVA Security Council has authorized the deployment of 2 Deimos-class corvettes into the Nebular Theater of Operations. The Lysander and the Actium crossed the subspace portal in Gamma Draconis at 23:35 hours and joined up with the Aquitane's battle group. On their last sortie, Epsilon and Iota wings encountered 2 Shivan warships. A Rakshasa-class cruiser designated the Iblis, and a Lilith-class cruiser designated the Azurus. Admiral Petrock has instructed our corvettes to hunt down and destroy these vessels. The 107th will provide fighter cover.
Alpha Wing. Your mission is to escort the Lysander and the Actium as they carry out this assault. Your first priority will be to eliminate all hostile fighters and bombers. Only then will you assist the corvettes with their strike against the Shivan warships. If we lose either corvette, you will abort the mission and withdraw from the field immediately.
Steady as she goes. Those cruisers are somewhere in this vicinity. We're now converging on their last known position. Affirmative.
Are you reading anything on sensors, Actium?
Negative, Lysander.
If we don't find them, they'll find us. I don't expect we'll be disappointed.
The Shivans fought nothing but great war relics. We'll show them what firepower is all about. I'm picking up something. A wing of enemy fighters closing in.
Alpha and Beta, intercept those bandits. Keep them off the Lysander and Actium.
Kane-class cruiser now coming into view.
Confirmed. It's the Azurus. Firing all guns. Objective neutralized. Damn it, Actium. What's this friendly fire?
Bandit on your tail.
Avoid the beam and you won't get hit, pilot.
All hostile fighters eliminated. Those Shivans put up a good fight.
Well done, pilots. Help the corvettes finish off the Azurus, but don't get too close.
We've destroyed the Azurus, Command. That's one more Shivan cruiser out of circulation.
Okay, let's find that Rakshasa. Continue on your current heading. If you need to rearm, pilot, now would be a good time. Deploying support ship now. Please stand by.
With the technology they had 30 years ago, it's a miracle we won the Great War.
No shields, no flak guns, no beam cannons.
You hear about Kappa Wing? Vanished without a trace, 5 clicks from the Aquitaine.
Their patrol found the NTC Trinity, right?
Yeah, that was Arthur Romig's ship. Hard to believe he turned traitor. Hey, Command, you gonna tell us what the rebels are doing out here?
You'll be informed on a need-to-know basis, pilot. Now kill the chatter and focus on your mission.
Rearming complete, sir. You're good to go.
New readings coming up on sensors. Incoming fighters.
Yeah, Command's all, we don't fucking pay you to think.
Seraphim is approaching fast. Intercept those bombers. The Seraphim are history. Well done, pilots.
Iblis now within range. All guns, fire for effect.
Lysander. The Lysander is down! The Lysander is down! All vessels return to base. We need to regroup. Get out of there, pilots.
Yes, sir. I'm out of here. I copy. Engaging jump drive now.
The Shivan warship we encountered has been designated the SD Ravana. Allied forces have been deployed to engage this vessel. Given the number of Shivan fighters our wings have encountered, we knew an enemy destroyer had to be lurking somewhere within the nebula. Our impaired visibility and diminished sensor range made locating their base of operations difficult. Command hoped our offensive against the two Shivan cruisers would lure the destroyer from its hiding place. Under these circumstances, there was nothing you could have done to save that corvette from destruction. Admiral Petrock has informed me that the 107th may be called in to reinforce the vessels attacking the Ravana. Suit up for your next sortie, pilot. This is Lieutenant Samsa. The Allied attack against the SD Ravana has deteriorated. We have lost the GTD Delacroix, and the surviving warships in the battle group are damaged. Petrock is scrambling the 107th to assist. Command will also sortie the GVC Somptus and the GTC Yakiba. Once they cross the subspace portal, we will move them into position. For this mission, we'll fly the GTB Boanerdzes, the Alliance's new attack bomber. The Boanerdzes maximizes shielding and payload, while offering enough maneuverability to make it a viable tactical unit. The bomber won't handle as well as the Herc-2, so stay on the move. Bombers make easy targets. With our Cyclops torpedoes, we'll have the firepower to take out the Ravana. If you're too far from the target, the flak guns will neutralize your bomb, so get as close as possible. Once you fire your salvo, hit your burners to get clear of the blast. The Cyclops has an extensive lock time and countdown. If we succeed, we will have secured the jump node between the Nebula and Gamma Draconis. If we fail, we pave the way for a Shivan invasion of our systems. Good luck, pilot.
We know you can do it.
Yep, and this is a pure bombing mission, but instead of the bow and energies, I'm gonna take our little surfboard with bricks. Hopefully that's enough.
I've acquired sensor lock on the Ravana. The destroyer is currently out of range.
Roger that, sir. Engaging your target. No visual on Allied ships, but we can see their cannon signature. Objective neutralized.
Bombers, close in on the Ravana. We must end this now.
Roger that, Command. Warheads are armed and ready.
Watch the friendly fire! You get hit, you won't make it to your own service!
Cover me! Cover me!
Watch your back, pilot!
Wow! You have killed yourself.
I've acquired sensor lock on the Ravana. The destroyer is currently out of range.
No visual on Allied ships, but we can see their cannon signature.
You got him!
Bombers, close in on the Ravana. We must end this now.
Roger that, Command. Warheads are armed and ready.
Watch the friendly fire! You get hit, you won't make it to your own service!
Incoming jump signature. Hostile configuration. operation.
Cover me! Cover me!
The Ravana's hull integrity has fallen below critical. Destruction of primary target is imminent.
Check your six! Bandits incoming!
Ravana objective neutralized. All units return to base.
Oh no. And all my wingmen are dead.
Because of your achievements, character, and potential, you are duly awarded the rank of Lieutenant Junior Grade. For your excellent record of confirmed kills, you have achieved the status of Ace. The destruction of the Ravana is the most significant victory over the Shivans since the end of the Great War. We have secured the subspace node linking the nebula with Gamma Draconis, and we have demonstrated our technological superiority over our Great War nemesis. We have proven without a doubt that we have the firepower to neutralize any Shivan threat. A new class of intercept fighter will be stationed on board the Aquitaine. I have recommended that you be transferred to this unit. Interceptors are fast, high-performance fighters requiring pilots with good reflexes. You've got the talent for it, and you'll represent the Ravens well. Command has ordered the Aquitaine to return to the Capella system. Admiral Petrock will brief the crew about our upcoming operation.
Lieutenant Commander Cordova here. Welcome to the 242nd Suicide Kings, pilot. I've heard from unofficial channels that the rebels have launched a surprise attack in the Epsilon Pegasi system. Details at this point are sketchy below phi-level clearance, and Command is in no hurry to fill us in. Petrock says he'll brief the Aquitaine when we reach Capella. The GTA formed the Suicide Kings in the Great War, when the old Valkyrie fighter went into service after the Shivan attack on Ross 128. The 242nd was stationed on the Galatea back then, and our first mission was the capture of Lieutenant Alexander McCarthy. We all studied the McCarthy trials in school, pilot. We're a part of history here, though the Galatea is long gone, and the Valkyrie has since been retired. The Perseus is the next generation interceptor, the fastest fighter in the GTVA. Our primary combat role is charging bombers and chasing down warheads. We're also assigned to surgical strikes against bigger warships. We're not called the Suicide Kings for nothing, pilot. We earn that name on every mission. For that reason, I suggest you review the Perseus training modules as soon as possible. There you'll learn how to target bombs and turrets, and everything else you need to serve in an intercept squadron. You are now authorized to use the GTM-43A Stiletto II missile. designed to incapacitate subsystems. The 43A improves on the original stiletto design by modifying its guidance systems and disruptor charge. The stiletto also boasts a more powerful propulsion system, increasing its speed and effective range.
Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-122X, Advanced Qualification for the Perseus Intercept Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with targeting bombs, turrets, and subsystems.
Welcome to Module TSM-122X, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this section if you do not follow instructions carefully. The most significant role of the Perseus Interceptor fighter is destroying enemy bombers and their warheads. For this exercise, we need a target. Let's bring in a Deimos-class Corvette. Remember the escort list? It's on the right-hand side of your... Good. Now, let's make this interesting. Here comes a wing of Shivans Seraphim bombers. Don't be afraid. This is only a training simulator. Just observe the action for now. As the Seraphim bombers approach the Deimos, they launch their ordnance. Use the bomb targeting control to acquire the Shivan warhead. The bomb will appear in your target view until it detonates. Observe that as the bomb impacts the hull of the Deimos, the name of the Corvette flashes in your escort monitor. That's how you know a ship on your escort list is taking damage. Bombs also appear as amber blips on your radar. Let's cover one more targeting control. The target's attacker function enables you to select the enemy ship attacking your target. This is especially useful in defensive or escort missions. First, select the vessel you have been ordered to Very good. Now, let's see how well you do in a combat situation. To make things fair, we'll restore the Deimos to full strength. Before we unleash the bombers, here are a few more pointers. First, locate the bomb by sensors or by sight. You'll destroy the bombs more efficiently if you can rely on visual contact, but sometimes you'll need to use the bomb targeting control if you get disoriented. It only takes 1 or 2 hits to destroy a bomb, and most warheads are generally slower than your intercept fighter, but don't get too close. The shockwave could damage your hull or knock out your subsystems. Obviously, the best tactic is to destroy the bombers before they launch their ordnance. An intercept fighter is built for speed so that you can engage multiple bomber waves across the field of engagement. Now, intercept and destroy the Seraphim bombers before they neutralize the Corvette. Excellent work, pilot. You repelled the bomber attack and protected the Deimos. Here's another tip. Using the messaging window, you can order your squad mates to protect a target. Pilots assigned to protect a target will help you intercept bombs launched at the target. Chasing bombs is a lot easier when you work together as a team. For the next phase of this simulation, let's restore the Deimos to full strength. We'll also change the vessel's IFF status from friendly to hostile. Target the Corvette. Good. As a fighter, you have minimal chance of destroying a large ship on your own. Bombs and beam cannons are much more effective, but these weapons are too big to mount on a fighter.
However, the speed and maneuverability of the fighter make it ideal for surgical strikes against the turrets and subsystems of larger ships. Use the turret targeting control to cycle through the turrets of the ship. Observe how the turret is outlined by a large square. The target view will display the type of turret and its current integrity. If the targeted object is not in view, it will be marked by a diamond. Now, excellent! Once you destroy a turret, your sensors will automatically target the next turret in order of priority. Larger warships have dozens of firing points, and in combat situations, you might not have time to cycle through all the turrets to find the one that is firing at you. You have an attacker targeting control that will select the nearest hostile firing on your ship. If the attacker is a warship, the turret firing on you will be targeted. This control can help you prioritize the enemies that pose the greatest danger to your fighter. Let's try it now. The Deimos will begin firing on you with one or more of its turrets. Use your attacker now. Destroy the turret. Feel free to use guns and missiles. Note that both heat-seeking and aspect-seeking missiles will home in on subsystems once they acquire lock. Good. Now let's see how you do against multiple turrets. Great work, pilot. Let's end this session with a look at targeting subsystems. By pressing the subsystem targeting control repeatedly, you can cycle through the subsystems of your target. A subsystem appears on your HUD outlined by a large square. If the targeted system is not in view, it will be marked by a diamond. Now, target the sensors on the Corvette. Nice work! Now select the Akaton Subsystem Disruptor Gun, or SDG, as your primary weapon. The Akaton SDG is an energy weapon developed by the Vesudans. The Akaton destroys the subsystems of a target, doing only minimal damage to the target's hull. Using the Akaton SDG, destroy the sensors of the Deimos Corvette. Good. Note that you can also order your squad mates to destroy the subsystems of your target. In the messaging window, select the disabled command to take out the engines. The disarm command will order the pilots to destroy your target's weapon subsystem. Well done. This concludes module TSM-122X. Engage your subspace drive to end the simulation. Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-122X, Advanced Qualification for the Perseus Intercept Fighter. Good luck with your upcoming assignment.
"36 hours ago, the NTF launched a full-scale offensive in Epsilon Pegasi, taking the GTVA 6th Fleet by surprise. Commanding his forces from the NTD Repulse, Rear Admiral Koth leads the rebel advance. With 75% of our forces in this system decimated, the regional death toll since the incursion now exceeds 80,000. Unless we act quickly, decisive rebel victory is imminent. The GTD Aquitaine will lead the Allied counterstrike against Koth and his warships. We will resupply in Capella before shipping out to the front. We have also learned our campaign in Sirius has failed. Two-pronged offensive launched from Alpha Centauri and Deneb encountered fierce resistance. Unless we can devise a military solution for dealing with the rebels, GTVA will be forced to recognize the NTF's authority in Sirius, Regulus, and Polaris. Allied engineers, in the meantime, are developing and adapting technologies that will enable us to fight more effectively in the nebula. Dr. Hargrove and her research team continue to study the subspace portal. Their findings have been classified Level 5. Until the situation in Epsilon Pegasi has been normalized, the GTVA will suspend its operations in the nebula.
This is Lieutenant Commander Cordova, leader of the 242nd Suicide Kings. Welcome to Epsilon Pegasi, pilots. NF Station, the Alliance's base of operations in this system, is now under attack. Though we have destroyed the NTC Outrage, the Cato continues to bombard the installation with heavy beam fire. Evacuation of civilian personnel on board NF Station is now in progress. As you know, civilians are protected under the Beta Aquila Convention, but the NTF has rejected that treaty and its provisions. Fortunately, most of the civilian convoy has jumped safely to the Capella jump node. Your mission is to defend NF Station. As leader of Alpha Wing, you will command your squad mates to destroy the fighters and warships besieging our installation. If the rebels sortie their Zeus bombers, intercept the warheads before they impact the base. Allied forces are engaging the rebels throughout the system. As resources become available, they will be deployed to assist you. Until we get these reinforcements, however, holding down the fort is all up to you. This sortie will be the first combat field test of the Perseus Intercept fighter. So let's put on a good show.
Alright. A handful of interceptors against a whole bunch of whoop-ass. This is gonna be fun.
Affirmative.
NTF fighters, you are firing upon a civilian vessel. Break off your attack.
Alpha, we need some fighter cover on the Calypso. Hold back the rebels so the civilians can escape.
NF Station here. NTF bombers are closing in.
Intercept the bombs before they hit the installation. We must not lose that base.
Missile banks depleted. Calling in support. Check your sex.
droid.
This is the GTFR Calypso. We have cleared Innet Station. Now engaging subspace drive.
This is the Mannheim. We have set course for the Capella jump node. Activating jump drive now.
This is Innet Station. We have sustained moderate damage. All breached levels have been sealed off. Engineering reports the situation is under control. All civilian transports have departed safely. More rebel bombers inbound. Seek and destroy.
Roger that, sir. Engaging your target. Check your six. Full integrity failing. Get me out of here, Command.
All yours, sir. Good luck.
Affirmative.
Command, this is Innet Station. A new wing of bombers has jumped in. Request immediate fighter cover.
Bandits incoming! I'm reading an incoming jump signature. Configuration unknown.
Command, there's a massive warship now emerging from subspace.
IFF status is friendly. Meet the Colossus, the largest spacefaring warship ever constructed.
This is the GTVA Colossus. Fighters stand clear of hostile warships. All batteries, fire at will.
We have defeated the Hawkwood. Return to base, pilots. Mission accomplished. Colossus, maintain your current position. You will defend Innet Station until relieved.
Yes, sir. Engaging jump drive now.
In your courageous defense of Innet Station, you were eyewitness to an historic moment. The first combat deployment of the GTVA Colossus. You and your wing also showed us what the Perseus Intercept fighter can do. Against overwhelming odds, you repelled an attack against a facility of the utmost strategic importance for the Alliance. The commander of Innet Station personally extends his gratitude, pilot. I can see you'll make a fine addition to the Suicide Kings. The Alliance has won battle after battle throughout the system, crushing the NTC Rapier, the NTC Explorer, and the NTD Normandy. These victories have stalled the rebel advance, and now with the help of the Colossus, we will push them back into the Polaris system, securing Epsilon Pegasi once and for all. For demonstrating exceptional skill in combat, you are hereby awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross.
Cool.
The following is classified level Rho. Unauthorized access is punishable under the GTVA Security Act, Deneb Convention, Section 2135. We vanquished the Shivans in the Great War, but the hard questions remain. How would we confront the threat of future invasion? The Shivans might return at any time, any place, without warning. How would we fight the next threat to the very existence of our species? In 2345, on the 10th anniversary of the Shivan attack on Ross 128, the Vasudan Emperor Khonsu II addressed the newly formed GTVA General Assembly. The Emperor inaugurated an ambitious and unprecedented joint endeavor, the GTVA Colossus.
Together we built a civilization in the ruins of a great war, and now we stand on the threshold of a new era of prosperity and harmony. In Project Colossus, the Vasudan people celebrate a renewed covenant of peaceful coexistence and mutual defense of their Terran allies.
The Colossus is the most powerful spacefaring warship ever constructed. Spanning 6 kilometers from bow to stern, the Colossus has taken over 20 years to complete. 12 Lucifer-class destroyers can fit within its massive hull. Its state-of-the-art weaponry includes 45 laser turrets, 15 flak guns, 12 missile batteries, and 12 beam cannons. The Colossus wields more firepower than 5 Orion-class destroyers combined. 60 fighter and bomber wings are housed in its vast hangar, and its crew numbers over 30,000. Among its major contractors are industry giants Triton Dynamics, Subak Innis, and the Akaton Corporation. The Alliance now wages war on multiple fronts. In Deneb, Alpha Centauri, Epsilon Pegasi, and the mysterious nebula beyond Gamma Draconis. Once deployed, the Colossus will end these conflicts swiftly and decisively. If ever the Shivans return to threaten our worlds, we will be ready to face the challenge, securing peace for today and for generations to come.
That is a giant foot to shove up people's asses, Red Foreman.
The 242nd will escort a supply convoy as it makes its rendezvous with the GTVA Colossus. As we prepare the Colossus for the Allied counterattack, we must handle the logistics of supplying and maintaining this warship. Convoys of transports, gas miners, and freighters have been deployed for this purpose. The Colossus will jump in and rendezvous with your convoy at the Capella jump node, located on the far side of an asteroid field. The area has been the site of intense fighting and rebel activity. Intelligence believes the rebels might attempt to attack our supply convoys rather than challenge the Colossus directly. You will be leading Alpha Wing, the main escort component. Your mission is to defend the GTFR Paracombe, the GTG Avila, and the GVG Juyan. The Avila and Juyan are mining vessels designed to collect fuel from gas giants for the reactors that power the Colossus. The Vasudans have dispatched a wing of Serapis fighters to guard the Juyan. You do not have command over this unit. However, the 242nd Suicide Kings are responsible for the Juyan's safety. 18 months of civil war are beginning to strain Terran-Vasudan relations, especially in contested systems. See to it that Juyan survives.
Or God forbid the rebels will make Egg Foo Young out of it.
We're heading into the asteroid field now, Command. We're approximately 23 kilometers from the Capella jump node.
I'm picking up hostile indicators on my radar. I can't get a lock. Might be nothing but asteroid interference.
Roger that.
That's wishful thinking, pilot. Proceed with caution and stay close to the convoy.
Command, a rebel sentry gun is activated 1,000 meters from the convoy.
Destroy it, but be careful, Alpha. The NTF seem to have an ambush in the works. Keep an eye out for hostile fighters.
Heads up, enemy wing closing in.
The rebels have sortied their Medusa bombers. Intercept them before they fire their missiles. We must protect that convoy.
Incoming!
That's a confirmed kill. Heads up, enemy wing closing in.
Alright, come get me.
parapet. We have orders to blockade the Capella jump node, and we must not leave our position. We will sortie a wing of Perseus fighters to assist. Good luck, pilots.
The NTC Maelstrom has entered the asteroid field. When it gets in range, the cruiser will fire its forward beam cannon at the convoy. Alpha 1, you are ordered to neutralize that turret.
All units in the vicinity of the Capella jump node, mayday! Our convoy is under attack. Repeat, our convoy is under attack.
Well done, pilot. The Maelstrom's main gun has been neutralized.
Help me!
Excellent work, pilots. We have destroyed the Maelstrom.
Yeah, we've lost a handful of our guys. Well, okay, more like one of mine, and Kappa lost one of theirs.
Command, systems are blown. I need a repair.
This is the GTVA Colossus. We have reached the rendezvous point. Now deploying transports. Beta Wing, stand watch. Alpha, the situation is now under control. You may return to base.
Yes, sir. I'm out of here.
Thank you for your escort, Alpha Wing.
Don't be colliding with each other. Okay, yeah, you know what, I can't help that.
Excellent job, pilot. The convoy made its rendezvous with the Colossus without losing a single ship. As the other freighters and gas miners transfer their payload to the Colossus, the Alliance is making final preparations for our attack against Admiral Cobb and the NTD Repulse. A demonstration of our ultimate weapon should force the rebel leadership to reconsider their territorial ambitions. GTVA units throughout the system report a successful coordinated strike against NTF targets. Command is confident the long stalemate in Epsilon Pegasi will soon come to a favorable resolution. By clearing out the rebel sentry guns in the asteroid field, you have significantly reduced the danger posed to future convoys on this route. Your initiative may save many lives. The Alliance will now take the Colossus on the offensive. We intend to break the back of the rebel fleet in Epsilon Pegasi and the 242nd will play a pivotal role. Rear Admiral Koth is somewhere in this system. He will not commit the repulse unless it's absolutely necessary. Your job is to create that necessity. To lure Koth into our trap, the first phase of the mission will involve an attack against the rebel cruisers Majestic and Refute. They are defended by a complement of 12 Hercules-class fighters. With the speed and agility of the Perseus, you should be able to outmaneuver the Hercs and take them down. Your primary objective will be to eliminate the fighter escort. This will pave the way for the GTC Rampart and our bomber wings, which will deliver the main thrust of the strike. Our plan is to damage the rebel cruisers while presenting the smallest credible threat. If the rebels think our force consists of nothing more than a Leviathan and a few errant bombers, they may capitalize on this advantage and sortie their fleet. For this reason, the cruisers must not be destroyed before their reinforcements enter the field of engagement. If Koth sends in the repulse to finish the job, Command will deploy the Colossus to strike the final blow. Your secondary objective will be to defend the Rampart during this phase of the battle. The cruiser will probably sustain damage from the earlier exchange. Good luck, Alpha.
And in case I need something a little bit thicker, at least closer to the Rampart, well, that's what the Hercs are for.
Alpha, your primary objective is to intercept the escort. The rebel cruisers have anti-fighter guns. Stay out of range to avoid them.
Affirmative.
Proceed with caution, Alpha. Those anti-fighter beams have an effective range of 1,500 meters. Try to lure the escorts away from their cruisers. The escort fighters are closing in on you, Alpha. Lure them back to the rampart.
Okay, they all bought it. Support ship now. Please stand by. Sensors picking up a wing of rebel Lokis, designation Libra. Seek and destroy.
Rearming complete, sir. You're good to go.
Epsilon Hero, ready to... Iota Wing here. If we hit these cruisers any harder, there won't be any bait left for the trap. We're bugging out.
We're powering down our beam cannons to minimize damage against the cruisers. If we destroy them by accident, our ruse is finished.
We have eliminated the NTC refuge. Admiral Koth's destroyer has jumped in. The NTD repulse. The big fish has devoured our bait. Now sending in the Colossus.
How the fuck did all my wingmen get whacked? Oh, right.
The repulse is deploying its fighter wings. Alpha, we need you to intercept. Destroy Ares' wing.
I'm on it.
The NTC Majestic has been destroyed. Signature. Friendly configuration. The Colossus is now on station.
This is the GTVA Colossus. Admiral Koth, you are ordered to power down your vessel immediately and surrender. The Polaris jump node is blockaded. There is no escape.
I have no intention of escaping, Colossus, nor will I surrender. Even if I send my crew to hell with you, this monstrosity will be destroyed.
The repulse has set a collision course for the Colossus.
Don't be absurd, Koth. You are sacrificing 10,000 lives for nothing.
Your cynicism appalls me, Colossus. I have 10,000 officers and crew willing to die for Neoterra. The tyranny of your regime is finished. Admiral Koth out.
Evacuating forward decks 400 through 1200. Bringing turrets to bear. Auxiliary bridge, stand by. All hands, brace for impact. martyr, his crew would still be alive.
This operation will mark the beginning of the end for the NTF. Well done, pilot. The area is secure. All hostile targets have been neutralized. Return to base.
Roger that, sir. See you back home.
I copy. Engaging jump drive now.
The Alliance has declared a decisive victory in Epsilon Pegasi. With our blockade of the Polaris jump node, all rebel forces in the system have surrendered. In recognition of your contributions to the Allied victory, you are hereby awarded the Epsilon Pegasi Liberation Medal. The GTVA Security Council and General Assembly extend their gratitude for your service. Admiral Petrarch has requested recommendations for the 134th Barracuda Squadron, a combat evaluation unit. I have forwarded your name as an outstanding candidate. The primary role of the 134th is the field testing of new technologies. In my estimation, you will excel in this challenging position. However, I have also learned that Special Operations Command requires a volunteer for an extremely dangerous operation. If you choose to pursue this course, your assignment with the 134th will be waiting for you upon your return. The decision is yours, pilot.
A dangerous covert assignment. Why not?
You have volunteered for a covert assignment with Special Operations Command in conjunction with Galactic Terran Vasudan Intelligence. Our primary objective is to provide the Alliance with accurate and comprehensive information regarding the tactics, technologies, activities, and strategic objectives of forces hostile to the GTVA. Missions with the Special Operations Command are carried out deep in enemy territory with minimal logistical support. Our behind-the-lines activities include infiltration, sabotage, surgical strikes, and intelligence gathering. You will be working undercover within the Neo-Terran front, leading Alpha Wing of the 185th Fighter Squadron. Your contact in this mission is Lieutenant Commander Christopher Snipes, an Allied officer who staged his defection to the NTF 6 months ago. As Squadron Leader of the 185th, Snipes will advise you of your mission objectives both as an NTF pilot and as an Allied operative. You will be equipped with a device that will enable you and Snipes to communicate over a secure frequency in battle. NTF ships will interpret your transmissions as targeting data. The focus of this covert operation is the NTF's ETAC project. Because access to information is restricted to the highest echelon, our knowledge here is limited. ETAC involves the development of a new cutting-edge technology, possibly a weapon of mass destruction. Admiral Bosch oversees the project directly, and the rebels are constructing a prototype on the Iceni command ship. We need to get a closer look. Even a scan of the Iceni would be valuable. We are working with the full cooperation of Vasudan Tactical Command and the Terran 6th Fleet. The probability that you will engage Allied fighters will be minimal. However, should you come under Allied attack, you have limited authorization to return fire in self-defense or to complete your mission objectives as defined by Lieutenant Commander Snipes. Show restraint and use your judgment.
This is Lieutenant Commander Snipes. For all you replacement pilots, welcome to the 185th. As you know, Admiral Koth's defeat in Epsilon Pegasi has opened the Polaris system to Allied attack. At 1425 hours, GTVA expeditionary forces crossed our Jumno blockade. The Colossus won't be far behind. Bosch isn't taking chances. We're moving the Iceni command ship to the Regulus system, where Bosch will install his provisional government. We've practiced this drill before, pilots. Alpha and Beta Wing will escort the Iceni to the jump node. Delta, you're on standby. The Regulus node is located within a small asteroid field. Our job is to clear a path. Asteroids on a collision course with the Iceni will be indicated in white brackets on your HUD. That's how you know which asteroids to shoot. The gunners on the Iceni will help us out, so we shouldn't have too much trouble.
Well, should being the operative word.
Alpha 1, do you copy? We're on a secure channel. We need a scan of the Iceni. Target the warship and close to 600 meters. Keep the ship's lead indicator in the center of your reticle. What's that science cruiser doing out here? NTF Command never briefed me about it. Must have something to do with ETAC. That's strange. I don't know what any of this means. We'll see what our analysts come up with back home.
Allied forces now jumping in. We've got a Mentu-class cruiser with fighter escort and a wing of bombers. All units, defend the Iceni.
Nice job, pilot. Never know what you're gonna find till you take a look. Alright kids, here's the game plan. We'll take out fighters and bombers first, then blast that cruiser back to Vasuda Prime. Something's wrong here. Command said the Vasudans wouldn't attack until the Iceni left Polaris. Either we've been double-crossed or these Vasudans are not following orders. It's an us or them situation, pilot. Alright, here are the rules. Neutralize anything that attacks the Iceni. Take out beam turrets and shoot down bombs. They fire on you, fire right back. If you don't defend yourself, you'll die out here, Alpha 1. These Vasudans are renegades. Pilots, redouble your efforts. The Iceni must reach the Regulus system.
We have received an update from the Epsilon Pegasi blockade. More Vasudan warships are on their way. The Iceni will proceed to the Regulus node as planned. All units, defend the Iceni and the Hinton. They must reach the Regulus system. The future of Neoterra depends on it.
I have no idea what trashed the Hinton, so... That's a shit ton of asteroids. Cool it, game. Cool it.
Pilots, you must clear a path for the Iceni. Destroy the asteroids before they impact the command ship's hull. Asteroids on a collision course will be indicated with white brackets on your HUD.
This mission is always so fucky, even in vanilla. And, even on FreeSpace Open, this is one mission that's always mysteriously a pain in the ass. I honestly feel like the litmus test before any further engine releases. Oh yeah, play through the port campaign and the vanilla game, and if you realize something really fucky's going on, then yeah, go figure that part out first.
Alpha 1, do you copy? We're on a secure channel. We need a scan of the Iceni. Target the warship and close to 600 meters. Keep the ship's lead indicator in the center of your reticle. What's that science cruiser doing out here? NTF Command never briefed me about it. Must have something to do with ETAC. That's strange. I don't know what any of this means. We'll see what our analysts come up with back home. Nice job, pilot. Never know what you're gonna find till you take a look.
Allied forces now jumping in. We've got a Mentu-class cruiser with fighter escort and a wing of bombers. All units, defend the Iceni.
Alright kids, here's the game plan. Take out fighters and bombers first, then blast that cruiser back to Vasuda Prime. Something's wrong here. Command said the Vasudans wouldn't attack until the Iceni left Polaris. Either we've been double-crossed or these Vasudans are not following orders. It's an us or them situation, pilot. Alright, here are the rules. Neutralize anything that attacks the Iceni. Take out beam turrets and shoot down bombs. They fire on you, fire right back. If you don't defend yourself, you'll die out here, Alpha 1. These Vasudans are renegades.
Oh, yo, what the fuck? I don't think that's supposed to happen.
We have received an update from the Epsilon Pegasi blockade. More Vasudan warships are on their way. The Iceni will proceed to the Regulus node as planned. All units, defend the Iceni and the Hinton. They must reach the Regulus system. The future of Neoterra depends on it.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
The Vasudans have destroyed the engine. Pilots, redouble your efforts. The Iceni must reach the Regulus system.
Yeah, this mission blows chunks. Thanks, I hate it.
Good job, pilots. Admiral Bosch and the Iceni have reached the Regulus system. Let's get back to base on the double. Alright, pilot, I've got some good news and some bad news. Good news is we got the Iceni to Regulus. The scan data you collected has been transmitted to the GTVI, and our operation to uncover the secret of ETAC continues as planned. The bad news is we're in a lot more danger than I think you realize. The Vasudan warships are under the command of Admiral Amos, who had full knowledge of our activities. The fact the Vasudans knew the exact time and position of the Iceni's departure has made the rebels just a little suspicious. As usual, the GTVA is overplaying its hand. Amos and his subordinates now face a court-martial for insubordination. The Rebs are all over that one. Not only did the Admiral know the position of the Iceni, he wasn't authorized to act on that information. Our squadron will be high on the NTF's list of suspects. One more thing. The pilots under Amos' command had been informed of his renegade status before they launched their attack. Under these circumstances, we had little choice but to return fire or blow the entire operation. Watch your back, pilot. This ain't going to get any easier. As you have no doubt already heard, the GVD Samtic has destroyed the NTD Cyrene, flagship of the Sirius fleet. As bad as things look in Polaris, the situation in Sirius is even worse. Bosch has redeployed our battle group to reinforce NTF positions in that system. We arrive in Sirius in 6 hours. The 185th will be deployed immediately to rendezvous with the NTT Sunder. Our mission will be to escort the transport back to the Regulus jump node. The cargo on board the Sunder has been classified well beyond my level of clearance. Let's just say if the Sunder goes down, so do we. The Alliance is fighting to secure the Alpha Centauri and Deneb jump nodes, so intelligence believes the risk of engagement will be low. Of course, that's what they told us in Polaris, where we got jumped by half the Vasudan Armada. Expect the unexpected, kids, and report to the flight deck at 1310 sharp. Dismissed.
That's a lot of fun.
Mayday! Mayday! Reactor core breach on all fighters! Half the squad is down! Command, do you copy? We've been set up! Alpha 1 and Beta 1 are traitors! We've been sabotaged!
Sorry I couldn't warn you, Alpha 1. I rigged these fighters with jamming devices and core detonators. The crew chief of the 185th is an Allied operative, so she helped me out. These detonators were a piece of junk. I even followed the directions. At least we mopped up quickly. Spies like us call it sanitizing. The jamming devices should have blocked their transmissions to Rebel Command, but with the luck we're having, the NTF Armada will arrive any second now. Our mission, Alpha 1, is to hijack the NTT Sunder. The transport pilot is one of us, so he'll follow course. We need to make the rebels think the Sunder has been destroyed. A decoy transport will arrive in a few minutes.
Stand easy, pilots. We received a partial transmission reporting a reactor core breach. What happened to your squad?
We were ambushed by an Allied heavy recon unit flying some new kind of fighter. They splashed my squad and jumped before we could take them down.
New kind of fighter, huh? You can tell us all about it at your debriefing. Why don't you rearm and repair, and we'll help you finish your escort. We've got more backup in transit, Alpha and Beta. We just need to hold down the fort a few minutes.
Some of that transmission got through. I can't tell if they're onto us or not. Let's play their game for now. I've got some friends coming, so don't panic. Alpha 1, engage Rebel fighters. Break to attack. Go, go, go! Meet the 99th Skull, Special Operations Command, the elite of the elite. Those fighters they're flying are the Arenes class. As far as anyone else knows, they don't even exist. You see the Hamako? That's the new AWACS ship. We're using it to block all enemy transmissions. As long as that ship remains operational, no one on the outside will know what we're up to. As far as the NTF is concerned, we're still loyal and devoted rebel pilots. So watch the Hamako, alright? If we lose the AWACS, our cover's blown for good. The NTC Miley has jumped in. Watch the flak. Here comes the Hellespawn, Aeolus class. About time you guys made it. Let's secure the area and bring it on home.
You guys are way too far. Really?
Sorry I couldn't warn you, Alpha 1. I rigged these fighters with jamming devices and core detonators. The crew chief of the 185th is an Allied operative, so she helped me out. These detonators were a piece of junk. I even followed the directions. At least we mopped up quickly. Spies like us call it sanitizing. The jamming devices should have blocked their transmissions to Rebel Command, but with the luck we're having, the NTF Armada will arrive any second now. Our mission, Alpha 1, is to hijack the NTT Sunder. The transport pilot is one of us, so he'll follow course. We need to make the rebels think the Sunder has been destroyed. A decoy transport will arrive in a few minutes.
Stand easy, pilots. We received a partial transmission reporting a reactor core breach. What happened to your squad?
We were ambushed by an Allied heavy recon unit flying some new kind of fighter. They splashed my squad and jumped before we could take them down.
New kind of fighter, huh? You can tell us all about it at your debriefing. Why don't you rearm and repair, and we'll help you finish your escort. We've got more backup in transit, Alpha and Beta. We just need to hold down the fort a few minutes.
Some of that transmission got through. I can't tell if they're onto us or not. Let's play their game for now. I've got some friends coming, so don't panic. Alpha 1, engage Rebel fighters. Break to attack. Go, go, go! Alpha 1, meet the 99th Skull, Special Operations Command, the elite of the elite. Those fighters they're flying are the Erinyes class. As far as anyone else knows, they don't even exist. You see the Hamako? That's the new AWACS ship. We're using it to block all enemy transmissions. As long as that ship remains operational, no one on the outside will know what we're up to. As far as the NTF is concerned, we're still loyal and devoted rebel pilots. So watch the Hamako, alright? If we lose the AWACS, our cover's blown for good. The NTC Miley has jumped in. Watch the flak.
Max, protect the transport.
Here comes the Hellespont, Aeolus class. We'll now scuttle this decoy transport. The Rebs think we destroyed the Sunder, they won't know how much we know. We'll also be able to continue our covert operation. Of course, that's if they don't hang us for failing the mission. We might be pushing our luck here, but what the hell? Alright, Alpha 1, all we need to do is wait for the NTF. Hold your position.
This is the NTCV Squadron, 2nd Battle Group Regulus. What's your status, pilots? We were instructed to rendezvous with a transport.
Severin, you're late. Basudin's blasted my entire squad and 2 cruisers out here. You want a rendezvous? Scan that debris field. That's the Sunder right there. You're a disgrace to the NTF, Severin. I'm filing a report.
Stand down, Beta 1. We followed our orders to the letter. Now get back to base before the Basudins return. There's nothing more we can do out here.
Thanks to our heist, the Sunder is now in Allied custody. With our scan of the Iceni and the capture of the rebel transport, the GTVI can begin to unravel the secret of Bosch's ETAC project. The CO of the Severin has taken the brunt of Bosch's wrath for the Sunder's alleged destruction. The captain and his lieutenants have faced a summary court-martial and will be executed at 0700. When you sign up for the wrong outfit, you get what you deserve. This doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. The Rebs are nuts, but they're not slow. It won't take them long to figure out our involvement in this attack, and the Vasudan ambush in Polaris was more than just coincidence. If it looks like they're onto you, your duty as an operative of the GTVI is to escape and report everything you know to Allied forces. Understood?
I'm Lieutenant Commander Jack Niven, your new squadron leader. Commander Snipes has been reassigned, so until further notice, you'll get your orders from me. With the 13th and 11th Vasudan battle groups advancing, we have a hard fight ahead of us. If we lose Sirius, our backs will be against the wall. The NTF has fought too hard to surrender now. The 4th Fleet, based in Vega, is providing the Vasudans with logistical support. They've established a cargo depot near the Alpha Centauri jump node. Recon reports a perimeter defense of 16 sentry guns, with fighter patrols inspecting the depot at regular intervals. The 185th has been called in to sever that supply line. All targets are of Terran construction. Our attack will be timed between fighter patrols. Our objective is to destroy all cargo and sentry guns. Once we secure the area, we'll be in a position to ambush Allied targets. The attack should lure the enemy to the depot and improve our odds in more critical engagements deeper within the system. Hostile target inbound. It's a troop transport, Elysium class. This one's all yours, Alpha 1. We'll cover you while you destroy the transport.
Hold your fire! No military personnel are on board this transport. We are evacuating civilians to Alpha Centauri. An attack on this vessel is a violation of the Beta Aquila Convention.
Show them what you think of the Beta Aquila Convention, pilot. So whose side are you on, Alpha 1? Whose orders are you gonna follow? Make your decision now, pilot. Time's up, pilot. We know all about you. You set us up in Polaris and you destroyed the Sunders. Now you'll face the firing squad. Sorry you won't live to get your medal.
Alpha 1, this is Allied Command. We are deploying reinforcements now. Hang in there. Help is on the way. back online. Sorry, you've outlived your usefulness as a deep cover operative, pilot. Return to base for reassignment.
You're a dick, Allied Command, you know that? Go fuck yourself.
Lucky to get you back alive, pilot. Our deep cover operatives stashed vital schematic data in your fighter's onboard computer. With this information, GTVI analysts will be able to unravel the enigma of Bosch's ETAC project. These operatives also advised us of your impending execution. Unfortunately, we have no information concerning the whereabouts or status of Lieutenant Commander Snipes. We fear the odds of his survival are not favorable. In recognition of your outstanding service to the Galactic Terran Vesudin Intelligence and Special Operations Command, you are hereby awarded the Distinguished Intelligence Cross. With this honor, you are now one of an elite few. We will bring you as far as Vega, where you'll catch a transport back to Capella. You'll rendezvous with the Aquitaine and continue with your next squadron assignment. Congratulations on a successful tour with the GTVI.
Yeah, I'm not really proud of that.
At 2150, the Colossus entered the Polaris system and neutralized the NTD Andronicus and the NTC Camisard, securing the jump node from Epsilon Pegasi. Meanwhile, the 13th Vesudin battle group has destroyed the NTD Cyrene and gained foothold in Sirius. Intelligence reports that Admiral Bosch and his elite guard have withdrawn to the rebel enclave of Regulus. Command anticipates a total Allied victory in less than 30 days. Dr. Hargrove's task force has determined that the subspace portal in Gamma Draconis was constructed by the ancients, an extinct civilization discovered near the end of the Great War. Artifacts excavated in the Altair system contain data that enabled the GTA and PVN to destroy the ST Lucifer. Many Terran and Vesudin systems once belonged to the Ancients' Empire, which the Shivans obliterated 8,000 years ago. The portal has been renamed Knossos after the Earth's Minoan civilization. Intelligence has learned that Bosch acquired ancient materials from an excavation site in the Deneb system. These artifacts somehow enabled Bosch to locate and activate the Knossos portal. This explains the presence of the Admiral's command ship in the Deneb asteroid belt. Bosch then sent the NTC Trinity into Gamma Draconis to activate the portal, which lured the Shivans into that system. We do not know Bosch's motives or what the Shivans are doing in the nebula. Allied scientists studying the portal remain optimistic about the potential for this technology. 5 to 10 years, we might be able to restore contact with Earth or create new jump nodes to unexplored regions of the galaxy. For this reason, the portal must remain open for as long as possible. Command has issued a standing order to destroy the device should a full-scale invasion be imminent. The destruction of the Ravana has intensified Shivan activity in the nebula. Shivan fleet appears to be smaller than the armada we defeated 3 decades ago, and our improved technology gives us a tactical advantage. However, with the possibility of uncharted jump nodes leading to more Shivan-infested systems, we cannot know with any certainty the full extent of the enemy force. A miscalculation on our part could unleash the second Shivan invasion of our home systems. The Aquitaine will spearhead the next phase of our exploration and containment operation in the nebula. To help us achieve our objectives, the Alliance has developed new technologies, including advanced warning and control systems, or AWACS, and gas mining vessels to gather deuterium for our fusion reactors. Prototypes of these new tactical weapons and fighters will be deployed pending successful completion of field tests. The 134th Barracudas will be conducting these combat exercises near the Gamma Draconis jump node. 2 next-generation weapons are now available, Morning Star and the EMP missile. The GTW ML-70 Morning Star improves upon the flail gun developed during the Great War. Recent advances in high-temperature optics enable the primary focusing chamber of the Morning Star to produce a more coherent charge. Though an energy weapon, Morning Star has a powerful kinetic effect on its target. The EMP missile interferes with the electronic systems of vessels caught within the blast radius of the warhead. Detonation scrambles targeting data and jams communications. Tactically, the EMP is an effective anti-bomber weapon. It prevents these craft from acquiring aspect lock and temporarily shuts down the guidance and propulsion systems of warheads in flight.
We'll do some more of this tomorrow. And then we'll finish this off next Saturday. Or Sunday. Depending on how things shake out. Yeah, I'm like... Some of that stuff probably isn't supposed to happen. I mean, yeah, I'm going... Wait. How the hell did the Hinton just get clowned like that? Or how did things just end up on a swivel colliding with each other? Well... I don't know, guys. I just don't know. But, yeah, we'll, figure this out as we go along, tomorrow afternoon. And that is all I have for now, so... Oh, jeez. Yeah. I wanted to see if I can change the handle on this, but no, the screw got stuck into place. I think it's either grinded in or shredded in, and yeah, I couldn't even try to out leverage the frickin' bolts off. Alright. Yeah, I don't think I can really go on these 5 or 6 hour benders anymore. Nope. Ow. I really got nothing else for now, so yeah. I probably should have just done a silent thread instead, but I'm like, might as well just do the second game. Why not? Probably revisit that later down the line, but Alright. That's all I have for now, so thank you guys for coming by. I'll see you guys next time, but in the meantime, stay sweet, stay sensational, don't be salty, and I will see you guys next time.